Enjoy the show. Drive on.
The 309th podcast from Perjangers and Wallhangers Media Network. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lugnutz.
Welcome, gearheads. This week, we have Ford's big effort. They really tried. A bolt, too late. On the Electric 7, we've been talking about it for so long. Mazda's new rotary in one state. But other than that, it sounds nice. Nissan smells. And an honorable mention story.
Play on my Tanger. Drive on Lugnutz.
Right on over here to pjndwh.com, where you're going to find all of the crazy and luggy nutty moments right up top, just like Wallhanger Gaming. In that second tab, you'll find Big Brother and myself streaming Saturday through Friday. I'm going through the Old Republic. Big Brother happily streaming the Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's very frustrating and very rewarding when you do figure it out.
A lot of...
It's easier when you stay within the level that you're supposed to be. Unless you're a mage, and then you can, like, stay back and learn to dodge. Preserve the quick roll. Preserve the quick roll. Just like we quick roll right into this first story.
Yeah.
Ford. They try so hard. But they tried to make the Mach-E the next big thing. I don't think there's a real picture here. Is there a picture below?
It's just this, I believe.
Let's put words in us. Well, over here at Ford, Ford had big plans for the Mustang Mach-E to be the next big thing in electric, which the classic pony car did start selling, but Ford can't keep up the production. Oh. They can't make them fast enough, which is causing a bit of a problem.
You know what? That's going around.
Despite, since 2001, they increased output 3 times. They still can't keep up with demand. They're trying their darndest, but, chip shortage.
Dadgummit, I hope they make it.
Gee golly gosh. We got more bad news in this next story. They're really kicking it.
Consarned it?
Over here at Ford, they're recalling more. Let's not center on Fox. Hey, that's much better.
There we go.
Over here on Ford, they have a recall. The company is recalling, 650,000 trucks and SUVs for windshield wiper arms. Again.
It's very important.
Yes, they had this with Lincoln. Last week, remember? It was Lincoln and the windshield wiper arms. This one is much more centered recall, covering 2020 and 21 F-150 Expeditions, 20 and 22 Super Duty F-250, 350, 450, 550, and 2020-21 Lincoln Navigator.
You meant centered in that aspect, not like centered, like it's a centered recall.
The other, like, Lincoln or Buick recall was like everything from 2007 to now. Wow, that's helpful.
Okay.
Thanks. You got right on it. National Highway Safety Administration is on this, that the vehicles are equipped with a wiper arm head spline teeth that are not adjusted to the correct height. This issue can cause the arm attachments to strip when they have certain wiper motors.
And then it's trying to go up and it's just kind of like, and then and it's just a floppy.
Struggle.
Yeah. A floppy struggle.
Over.
Yeah.
First
Horrible.
reported in 2020. So they're getting around to it.
It's rough, man.
They're going to replace the wiper motor with something that might work. That will work. I'll give them credit. 'Cause
Sure.
They need a win.
Oh, Gil needs a win.
Yeah. I didn't cover the story by the street. That's how they're trying to regain their name in automotive. I
Yeah.
couldn't. You
Yeah.
didn't mention a car, so I just couldn't sit through it. Just like.
This next story.
So, if you had a bolt, remember that fire thing?
A bolt of lightning.
Yeah, a bolt. If you had a bolt, well, there's no longer the packs to fix it. They're not available anymore. They're not going to make any more. If you didn't get it fixed, you're screwed.
Wow.
They'd like to let you know there's no more good luck if you didn't get it fixed. It's a bit of bad news if you have a bolt, but that could put you in the market for a new car. You might want to pause for this next story. It's all about Mazda.
Segue.
That was a good segue.
Mazda's rotary rumors are true. They're bringing back the rotary as a range extender on the new MX-30 plug-in hybrid crossover that will not debut till 2023.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad looking.
It's not bad at all.
I mean, not as good as some of their other SUVs, but it's
Yeah,
not
no.
horrible looking, I guess. It's
all right.
weird. It's not.
What's with the
it's
roof?
Not, it's not growing on me.
The roof is weird. All the
The
rest
roof
of it looks like a
is-
Mazda.
Yeah, I don't understand the roof.
Are they trying to go for like that translucent or like camo look? Like
Yeah, I don't
I
make
don't
it
know.
look like a convertible, but
The
I'm
rims
not
look fine?
converted. Yeah, it's
everything
fine,
else
I
looks
guess.
good, but just what is going on
kind
with
of ugly.
that roof?
It's a little bit. I think it's not bad, but
It looks like a
it's
Mazda.
It's not great. It's fine, I guess. They've made better things. They've
A
designed
lot
things that look
better things. Yeah.
right. The rotary will be a range extender. EPA will say it'll have a massive 100-mile range. It's not a lot.
No.
100 miles?
No.
Oh, and you can only buy it in California.
As it should be. As it should be.
But they're bringing back the rotary, and you got to start somewhere.
I guess it's better off a dream.
No other details have been given, but with only a range of 100 miles.
Better than Jeep with 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just like this next story.
So what's Toyota doing?
Toyota has a recall. This recall concerns that they will not automatically recharge the stability control program if the driver disables them and then turns off the vehicle.
Okay.
In that case, it might be a problem. A technician will update some software for the recall. It will be free. Toyota has a 1-800 number you can call. 1-800-331-4331.
Okay.
Recall number 22TA03. Or for Lexus, 22LA01.
Well, it's good to have that
Simple
information.
enough. Leave the traction control alone.
Don't touch it.
Don't you're not a professional drifter. If you are, good for you. But
Well, I'm not going to touch it.
yes, don't touch it. But
You
you're
don't
going to
want
want to touch this next story.
I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you're going to want to touch this one. They're getting a brand new flagship, BMW's all-electric 7, starting at $119,300.
Mm-hmm.
for this massive all-wheel drive 536 horsepower i7 xDrive 60. It will have a range of 300 miles.
Stop it.
Yes,
that for
no,
$1.
really, 300 miles.
That's crazy because
I'd buy that for $1.
I
Ooh,
would buy that for $1.
You're going to need a lot of them. You're going to need hundreds, thousands of them.
About 119,000 of them.
You bring $1 in and say, I'd like a 7 Series, please.
7
They'd be
Series?
like,
$1.
you're funny. This is going to go 300 miles
and
of range, which is great
not
compared
for
to
$1.
100.
Yeah.
They emphasize the back seats in this one. But more importantly, let's start with the platform. BMW has a flexible first electric vehicle strategy, which means BMW emphasizes the engineering as its edge.
Mm.
Other dedicated platforms have their vehicles as their electric vehicles as a separate thing. It's a separate platform that they
like
do.
Prius
Whereas
from Toyota.
they are just sort of, you're going to get the same chassis. It just has battery shit bolted on. That's the
enough.
way they're doing
Yeah.
it. I like it. It's the same. There's no changes. You don't need a new factory. You just, instead of an engine, you just cram in the battery parts and a 31-inch resolution screen in the back that folds down for a quality entertainment drive while your chauffeur drives you to wherever you're going. That's why you buy a 7 Series.
Well, I mean, I don't imagine you're driving the 7 Series yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you plan on being like a bougie Uber driver.
I don't think you're going to be picked up in an Uber 7 Series electric.
And you never know, man. Like a Uber Black or whatever those premium tier cars are.
I've never taken that, but I don't imagine a brand new 7 Series is going to show up. I don't think that's how they're paying for the 7 Series.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. It'll have a high-end stereo. It will drive itself out of a parking space as well.
So it's not going to be your Uber driver.
4-wheel drive steering for smooth turns. Let's have a look at that interior. Not a bad back end.
It's not a bad back end. That's actually pretty
It's
nice.
a nice looking car.
Yeah. And then, ooh, look at
Fantastic.
this.
Looking at the colors, and
That's
that looks like
fancy.
screens on the top. On the top here,
Right here, yeah.
big wide screen. Oh, is that
Yeah.
Is that the?
And
that
then you
big-
got this little touchpad and dial,
Uh-huh.
cup holders. Big screen right here in the front.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
All the way
With
to
the
the
Speedo
side.
on the other side.
That's nice.
That looks BMW quality.
Oh yeah, it does. That's probably just trim that looks like that because you see it right over here on the door panel. That's just a nice piece of trim, and then you got like the pleather or hopefully
Probably
leather.
it's BMW. I'd expect real leather.
Yeah, I hope
in
so.
there.
I hope so.
But what you wouldn't expect is this next story. Class action power. Hyundai owners and Kia owners are angry over the oil consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's a problem, generally people read the book. I'd like to think. But the owners allege that these engines are needing oil far more frequently than the manual suggests. So they're suing not Nissan. That's the next story.
We're suing
Hyundai.
Nissan. We have nothing
We
to
have
do
nothing
with
to
it.
do with the Kia. What the hell is wrong with you?
Fuck you! You did it! No, we didn't.
We don't even make your car. It couldn't be us.
That's so great.
But they're suing because it burns or leaks too much oil.
It's probably burning oil. I mean, there's a lot of that going around in the industry. You change different kind of metals, and it affects how the piston rings stick to the walls. And then you have carbon buildup, and then it allows more oil to bypass, and then you're burning through oil. And they're like, yeah, well, 1,000 miles, the court's fine.
Oh, there's a list. We have a list of the cars
Oh.
that are affected. We don't have to just stare at a dipstick all day. Hyundai Elantra, Genesis. Is there anything not on the list? Kia,
Palisade.
Forte, Nitro, Optima, Rio, Sorrente. So everything Kia and Hyundai.
K5.
From
Sounds like a pop band.
2010 to looks like 2013.
22.
Till now.
Yeah. There's a bunch of shit. If you have a Kia, it probably is burning oil.
It's burning oil at an expeditious rate.
That's a shame, man. I mean, because
So check your oil.
the oil consumption is going all around, and I guess it's just dissimilar metals that they haven't used before that they are trying out now to try to balance out the fuel economy and
They've
the
been
weight.
trying it out
power.
since 2009. It
Yeah.
hasn't worked, so they stuck with it since till now.
I mean, when you put it like that, it kind of pokes a
kinda-
hole in my balloon.
It does. It's a class action lawsuit. I think that's why they're asking the government. We don't think this is right. Could you help us? And then the government's like, what's your problem?
So I'm not going to Matthew Murdoch this shit.
No.
No.
But you might Matthew Murdoch this next story. No. Nissan then.
There we go.
Nissan, hey, Nissan smells. Did you know
With
that new
like
car
jingle bells or?
Do you know that Nissan smell?
Oh, the Nissan.
Well, apparently everybody loves new car smell. I don't know what it smells like.
No,
But-
new car smell is nice.
Yes. Well, apparently Nissan and other big car manufacturers work on a signature smell.
Hmm.
The smell is a mixture of plastic, satin, and fabrics. Actual leather in some cases. And it's also largely an emotional response.
You know, most everybody watching this podcast, the joke is very much lost on them because
I have no sense of smell.
you are reporting on smell.
I thought you'd find that interesting.
I find it fucking hilarious. It's so ironic.
But it is interesting
Yes.
when they mention the smell because they want it has to withstand cleaning
Okay.
and extreme temperatures. Think when you're
Yes.
inside, like especially here, it gets cold as shit out there.
And hot as fuck.
You ever have a water bottle freeze overnight in a car?
Dude,
Yes.
I've had on the opposite end, in the extreme heat. You ever left a soda can?
Have you ever left a sheet of cookies on your windshield during the day? Because, like, I think 4 hours in the sun, that should be good, right? Does that work?
I left a soda can
Probably break your windshield.
in my car over like a hot ass day.
Oh,
and I'm
probably
like,
exploded.
oh man, I can go for this. And it was like a shotgun blast to my thumb. It was like,
Boom.
BAP! And I was like, ah! Oh my God, my thumb's gone! Oh, it's still there! Why can't I feel it? Why can't I feel it? Oh! And I just don't open a hot soda anymore.
No.
Live and learn. But new car smell, it still
But
would have smelled
apparently-
nice as my thumb was exploding.
Nissan and other car companies such as like Nissan work on a smell that's unique to their car. Can you really tell?
I mean, between new car smells,
If I were to no, not me. If she was to like,
if I were to go and
Let's,
smell,
like,
you would not be able to tell at all. I'm just letting you know.
right? If a
I'm
woman
throwing
was
that
to
out
like,
there.
because they got supposed to have better smell from what everyone has better smell than me. But so you sit into they sit into like a Nissan, and then you blindfold them, right? You sit them
Yeah.
in a Ferrari. Will they be able to tell by the smell which one is the Ferrari? If they both have equal fabric, like leather to leather.
If it's anything like tasting, like probably not. Like you ever see like that, like wine or brandy tasting, and people are like, oh no,
Yeah.
this is the expensive brandy, and it's like that cheap store bought shelf shit, and they're like, what? I had no idea.
That's the emotional response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I kind of feel like that's the same thing. I don't think you would logically be able to tell any difference in the smell. Even if it was the most
Someone's
sensitive nose.
Someone's got to be able to tell. Whenever I tell people I can't smell, they're like, really?
At all.
Don't you want to? No. I was in a study with a bunch of other people. They didn't want to smell either. It doesn't sound very pleasant to me.
Although if there is one smell you are missing out on, it is new car smell. It is very pleasant.
It sounds like people really like it.
It's so great. It's
Just
so
like-
relaxing.
Just like this next story. Here we have a new concept by Genesis, the Genesis X concept called Speedium Coupe. Look, it kind of reminds me of a very specific car. Let me see. Go down to the side view. See if you can. What car does that look like to you? Porsche.
Kind of looks like a Porsche, yeah.
Looks like a Porsche to me. It looks like Genesis is concepting a Porsche. They already released this car. This car is already out.
Well,
It's over here.
as far as Porsche is concerned, I mean, would you really look down on Genesis and be
It
like,
looks
hey,
no,
man?
no, no. It looks worse than a Porsche.
Well, yeah, no, it's a poor man's
Wait.
Porsche.
No, because look at that back end. Ugh.
A destitute man's Porsche?
No.
I don't have any,
You know what?
any other
The
adjectives. I
picture
don't know.
isn't. It's not growing on me because, like, the Porsche that has the 4 doors. What do they call that? I don't know how to buy cars. whatever it is. I don't like the look of that one either. But every time I look at someone that knows Porsches, I think you could be driving a Maserati.
Yeah.
You could have been driving a Maserati.
I mean, but
Is
still,
it insane? A little bit. Are the buttons for any reason? No. Do you care? No.
the Korean market desperately want to have that foothold in the luxury brand. They don't want to be seen as that cheap, easy car because that's how they got into it. They started making bikes and they were like, oh shit, we can make cars. And then, they got popular as that entry-level car. And they're like, well, hey, man, we can do luxury shit, too. And they're like, calm down, Junior. And now they want to be known in this luxury market because Volkswagen and, Audi and, you have the German market. You have this, Japanese market and the American market. But nobody is looking at the Korean market as a luxury brand.
I tell you, we've heard of one group of people who's looking at the Korean market. That's a class action lawsuit. Let's hope you pick better engine metals.
Yeah.
Well, many things happen over the years, like U.S. News and World.
That one. This one.
Many things happen over the years, like U.S. News and World reporting on the best hybrid. If you can see it, maybe you could read out the name. I can't see that from here. The lights are too bright.
So, best luxury electric car is the 2022 Lucid Air.
Really? I've never seen one
I haven't either.
on the road. Probably, I think it's a California thing.
Yeah, the best luxury electric SUV is the 2022 Tesla Model Y.
All right.
Which, I mean, Tesla.
I'll give that to you. It is a Tesla.
Teslas
they're
are nice.
very nice.
Very
But
nice.
it is an SUV. You want an SUV, that's the one you'd go for.
Yeah. And the best electric vehicle, the 2022 Kia EV6.
No problems with oil burning here.
Oddly
Oddly enough, it does have an oil thing you have to keep, and it just burns it.
you just add
No
oil
reason.
just
Why?
to burn
It's
it.
electric. No, we just added that. It beeps if you
Mandatory Kia oil
don't. Could I
burning
get
procedure.
you to turn that off? No. Sorry.
So best luxury plug-in hybrid is the 22 Volvo S60 T8 PHEV.
Wow, what a mouthful.
Yeah, I know it's a
I
mouthful.
wanted to
of
get it,
potatoes.
but I couldn't. I don't know what he said.
Yeah.
And it's the same number as my copier.
Best plug-in hybrid is the 22 Hyundai Tuscan Hybrid PHEV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuscan Raider style.
Tuscan man.
The next one I can see, the Toyota Prius.
The best hybrid car. And, of course, the best hybrid SUV is the Toyota RAV4 hybrid.
All right.
I'll allow
The
that.
best luxury is the Lexus ES
Hybrid.
Hybrid.
Yeah, man.
We do have an honorable mention story before we go.
Mhm.
Apparently, Honda and Acura are going to sell 10-year-old certified used cars.
Good
I
for
think
them.
that's a fantastic idea.
It is.
There's a lot of cars that are 10 years old. They're still good, as long as you certify that it's going to behave itself.
It has to have those markings, but Honda and Acura's, that makes sense for them to have that 10-year certification because they tell you what maintenance you need to do.
Yeah.
And when.
Yeah.
You replace the tires, you replace the brakes, that's it. If you do that, that's why these cars last 400,000 fucking miles on average. So, I mean, it makes sense that you're like, 100,000? Ha ha ha! Barely broken in.
And for Acura, some models people don't give away. Unless, I don't know.
Well, that's the
Or
thing,
don't
man.
get
I
rid
mean,
of.
you look at like the TSXs, the old Integras, the MDXs, some of these models, they just never change hands. The CRVs, they don't change hands. You see the same person in the same car driving forever. And that's just what they do in life. They drive that car forever.
Just like we'd like you to drive over to pjandwh.com.
Yeah.
Where we have all sorts of perjanging and wall hanging stuff.
Yes, we do.
I didn't pick the name.
No,
I picked Lugnutz, where you can find all the Lugnutz videos here. And you should contact us with tons of fun stuff about your car.
Because it does not matter if you drive a Toyota Prius or a Porsche. Nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you next week, gang. Drive on.
I gotta be honest. I can't report on Genesis without thinking of the band.
Yeah.
I can't. Over on Genesis, live at the Spectrum. 3 nights only. Get your tickets now. They will not last.
So you can feel it coming in the air of the night.
Yes, you can feel it. Coming over to pjandwh.com. Thank you for joining us.
And as always, we'll see you next week, gang. Drive on! That's right, Doodle Butt. It's outside time! What?
Play on Verstappen. That was a good segue. Our Island Kelly.
I look like I'm a giant compared to
Oh my God! Godzilla! Godzilla! Ah, Godzilla! No! That's entertaining.
All right. While the mouse would like to cooperate,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see if I can read this week.
We shall see.
Some of the words, they don't always come easily.
But
I shouldn't.
one thing that came easily, I guess you could say, is Max Verstappen and his win this week.
Yeah, no complaints this week.
Lewis Hamilton got shit on.
He didn't do well in the sprint, and he started 14th, and he ended 14th. So
It's just down to the car.
he got par.
Well, I mean, it's probably you got George Russell. He was right there. Like, what did he finish? Fifth, sixth,
Fourth, fifth,
fourth,
something like that.
Yeah, fourth, and then Bottas was fifth.
Yeah,
So-
he was right on his tail.
I mean,
Bottas,
everybody has a
he
bad
had
day, I
him.
guess.
So-
But Bottas was right sniffing
right
his booty
there.
hole, man.
So
The whole race. It was a really good one, though. So we'll have to see how the next one in 2 weeks is with Miami. Even though the
Yes.
residents were complaining,
nobody cares.
they didn't want the F1
This is a
race
lot of
to
money
happen.
coming into the city. All those people have to stay somewhere. All
Yeah.
those people have to eat somewhere. You're Miami.
It's a lot of revenue for the city.
They'll love the drug tax.
Shut up. That's all you got to know. But another thing you got to know is to hit that like button, subscribe button, rather, right there. Like button and comment button right down below. Right above my head is the very best Perjangers and Wallhangers video for you. And right above Big Brother's head, well, that's going to be every single Lugnutz podcast in a playlist. And, of course, it doesn't end until our main man, Connor, says...
Drive on Lugnutz.
We'll see you next week, gang. Drive on.
Drive on Lugnutz.